You're watching a Love Jack video. Hey guys, it's Jackie. I did it. I finished my December Daily 2015 album. I'm super excited at how it turned out this year, and if you're curious to see inside, I made a video for you. Enjoy. Hi everyone, here is our December Daily 2015 album. We start off with our cover page. It says Our Story, and there's a picture of all of us here. My favorite picture from the whole December was a photo shoot we took while we were in North Carolina. Momo took that photo and we're all making funny faces. I really like it, so that made the cover page. It's also in the album, but I wanted to put it on the front page too because I think it shows like our whole family in true form. And then there's a picture of Georgia with the horses in North Carolina, and then Conroy with one of the big trees here in Brooklyn. Now, our album always starts with Thanksgiving, because to me, Thanksgiving is the beginning of the Christmas season. It just feels like it. And this year, not only did my parents come up, but my brother and his girlfriend came up, and then Marcy and Scotty. So I definitely wanted to include this in the book. On Thanksgiving Day, we played a game where everybody wrote down what they were thankful for about someone else at the dinner table, and I saved some of these cards and I cut them up and put them in these pockets. I like just kind of reading them and seeing I don't know why everybody's thankful for each other. It's really nice way to start the book. So over here it just says Thanksgiving. Here's Scotty getting the bird cooked, and then every page you'll notice Billy the elf, our elf on the shelf, is here. Georgia loves seeing him in the book from last year, so I stepped it up this year and I gave him a glitter paper border. So you'll see every time you see him, he'll be on glitter paper. All right, the next day we went to see the Rockettes, and in this spread I made it a little bit longer because there was certain things I wanted to keep and include, and it just didn't all fit on one page. I also wound up cutting this one. This one had 4 3x4s on it, and I cut it just to add 2 more photos, but I didn't like the way it looked because basically it showed like half that page and I thought it looked bizarre. So I wound up using packing tape to tape these 4 2x2s on here, and then I used washi tape to make it look a little bit cuter. So for the Rockettes, I saved the playbill, I saved the ticket, and I saved the 3D glasses. And this makes me really happy because I always want to save stuff with an intent to scrapbook it, and most of the time it winds up just sitting in a box. So the fact that they're in here makes me really happy. And then, so that's that page, and it really extends one day, 1, 2, 3 pages. But I like how it turned out, and the book's not too thick, so it's fine. This next page was a Saturday, and we baked cookies, so pretty self-explanatory there. There's Billy up in the corner. And then the next day was Sunday, and I knew I wanted to include Father John in our album, so I just asked him if I could take a picture of him after church. Of course, he said yes, and we wrote, "We love Father John" here. And I also journaled a little bit here because Conroy really likes singing these days, and when he sings "Are You Sleeping, Brother John," he always says Father John, and I think that's super cute. So I wanted to remember that, and I knew I wouldn't if I didn't write it in there. The next day was a Monday. I wrote a little bit about what our typical Mondays are like here. And then Georgia came home, we had ants on a log as a snack. And I used this Kelly Perky stamp that says "We ate this." The next day was Tuesday, and on this day I have a lot of memories on here, but I wanted to focus on the fact that we go to the ice cream shop. We usually do an activity book. In this case, we were practicing for the gifted and talented test. So it says, "On Tuesdays, we eat ice cream." And this photo behind it also tells a little story. Tuesdays during the day, I don't have the kids, so I was working on my cards for our upcoming craft fair. I was watching a little CSI Cyber, and then I like that our tree's in the back. Now this is December 1st, so you'll notice from here on, I use the same number sticker. So it's just a number sticker in white, just to keep the whole book cohesive. I try to keep this, my goal of this book was to keep it very cohesive, and in doing so I also used the same packet of pattern paper for all the non-photo spots. So now here is a Wednesday, and I taught my art class, and then Chad and I went to the Rachel Ray holiday party, and this dude was totally photobombing us. So I love the picture. It was the only picture we had. Actually, somebody else took it and then emailed it to him, so I just put a little sticker over that guy's face. There you go, perfect now. This next day was, what day was that? That's a Thursday, and Georgia had a half a day, so I took her to the Whitney Museum, and they had this great packet at the Frank Stella exhibit, just for kids. So it was almost like a scavenger hunt in the museum. She loved it. I loved it. It was fun just being me and her. I didn't want to save the whole packet, so I just cut out my favorite page, which was where we looked out the window and we drew the water, but we didn't look at the page, we just looked at the water, so you could see both of ours on here. It's really cute, and then I just punched holes in it to keep it in the book. Now this is another day that I had the spread last 2 pages because so much happened. In the morning we did the Whitney, and then in the afternoon we went caroling to all of our security guards. So I thought that deserves its own page. So it just says UT Scouts, and then I wrote all the kids' names right here so we would always remember. Now this next page is a Friday. We went to the little gym and I kept it pretty simple. I used these stickers from Trader Joe's to mimic the polka dot pattern here. And then again, here's our 4. And then Little Gym, Trader Joe's. And then this page was Saturday. It was a super busy day, but I wanted to include it all on one page because I didn't want to go overboard. In the morning, we had brunch with my friend Ben and his wife Ginger. She was pregnant. She's since had a baby boy, very exciting. And then we just hung out in Lincoln Center afterwards to let the kids run around because they did so good sitting still during brunch. And then we stumbled across this Alice in Wonderland exhibit. Now this comes from a photo I took. It was a picture on the wall and the kids were over here, but I wanted to journal about the day, so I cut the kids out, and then they're over here again, so don't worry. And then at the end of the day, one of George's friends had a birthday party, so I just snuck that in here and I put a little sticker saying that it was his party. Now the next day is Sunday. Here I stamped, a lot of the days I stamped with the Heidi Swapp clear stamp the day of the week, because sometimes, I don't know why, I just remember what happened better if I know what day it was. So this was a Sunday and we did the church craft fair. And I just had a picture of Georgia rocking my fanny pack and then a picture of Chad and I. And then I used this sticker here and I wrote give, because this year at every craft show I gave away a free pack of holiday cards, which was fun. Speaking of my cards, this year we were featured in Rachel Ray's magazine, so I wanted to include this. I didn't want to have the magazine like just sitting on a shelf forever. I wanted to really remember it, so this album was a perfect place to include it. I just used a standard, just a full 6x8 page, and I positioned it on top of the magazine to decide exactly what I wanted to cut out. I know I wanted to keep as much as the title, and then I used these Mambi chips that says "This happened, so awesome." And then on the back I used cardstock. I cut out the section with my cards in it, the little blurb here, and then I cut out the other little blurb here, and then I wrote Boxer here because she's the woman that works at the show who hooked us up. And now this next page, I'm really happy with this turnout. I did this page twice. First I printed out this photo smaller, and I didn't think you got the whole, like, the feel of how big that tree is. You couldn't tell. So I went back to CVS and I had it printed as a 5x7, and then I just mounted it on cardstock. And then I used these gold stickers to write Metro Tech because that's where it is. And then this picture of Conroy and the dog. There's also this dog statue there that he likes to ride on. So, and I mounted that on some green cardstock just so it popped a little bit more. Billy's up there, our 7's down there. This next page, I saw Amy Tan do this, and I loved it, so I was so excited to do it this year. It's basically you just save all of the postage stamps that you get from your holiday cards, and in addition to that, I bought a bunch of different stamps, so this is like the little tag that comes with your stamp packet. I included that as well. And then also our friend's baby, how cute is he? He was on the envelope as like part of the return address, so I wanted to include Max there. And then I used it all on a recycled Starbucks bag, and I thought it was pretty fitting because it says reuse this bag again and again, then recycle it again. The front of the bag said something else, but I didn't love it as much, and I like the recycle element. I like the Starbucks logo, just to include that in there. This next day is the 8th. I think it's a Thursday, although I didn't stamp it on there, so of course I don't really remember. No, it's a Tuesday because the next day is a Wednesday. Okay, so this is a Tuesday. We're on our way to school, and Georgia always says, "Hey Mom, take a picture of that." So I wanted to include that memory of just like this time in our life where she's always asking me to take a picture. And here's a picture of a penguin. Up here is a picture of an airplane in the sky. Always at the end of the day I look at my camera or my phone and I have all these like random pictures, but they're pretty fun to see what she wants to document. So here is what they call their racetrack. It's just on the sidewalk on the way to school in front of this one building. They have these stripe patterns, and they always say, "Dad, haul the mail." And I'm not sure if that's a Southern thing or what, but that's what they say when they want to go fast. Chad taught it to him, and I think it's pretty fitting since I have a card company hauling the mail. Now this next day was a Wednesday, and it's another one where I let the spread continue over because I wanted to write about how Billy brought the kids these Band-Aids because Georgia had hurt her hip the day before. Nothing serious, just a little fall. And also this photo of Georgia being able to ring the doorbell. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden my baby can touch the doorbell and ring it, and I was like, I couldn't believe it, so I had her do it again just so I could take a picture and remember that moment. And then this night I created a kind of like a photo booth strip. Chad's buddy Kniff was in town, and they went out that night, and Conroy must have wanted in on the fun because he also didn't want to go to bed. So it's like 10:30 at night, and I texted Chad this photo of me and Conroy. It was originally like we're next to each other, and then to be funny, he texted back this photo of him and Kniff. So I wouldn't include that because I just thought that was funny, and then they're really good friends, so I wanted to make sure his visit was documented. And now the next day is Thursday, and Billy brought the kids some Elf on the Shelf pajamas, which they look super cute. And then also on this page, I took a picture of our television. We use Pandora on our TV. And this holiday season, I was listening to a lot of Amy Grant. I don't know, it reminds me of like my childhood. So I just simply took a picture of the TV, and then I printed it and cut it out. This next page was Friday, and there was a Rachel Ray potluck, so we went into the office for that. And Conroy woke us all up at 4 a.m. that morning. So man, we were having a rough day, lots of coffee that next day, but we got there and he fell asleep. So he's not even in the photo. So I just talked about it a little bit here, and before that we went and saw our friend Annabelle at the playground, so I put her names in those alphabet letters. You'll see these alphabet letters in here a lot because I love them. The 12th, I sold my cards at another craft show in the neighborhood, Fort Greene Holiday Market. And this, I really like this whole spread because it doesn't look that Christmassy. I mean, I do have the pattern paper, so you can, it definitely, like, you know, it's December and then Billy's here. But I really like all, like, the rainbow colors in here. This woman that was next to us sold these crazy spandex neon pants that, like, I really wanted to buy, but I couldn't, like, I couldn't bring myself to buy them and then, like, walk around town like that. But there are people that do, and they look awesome. Maybe one day. And then this photo of Conroy, and it just has all the bright colors from my cards there. And then our Sunday drive, which this next day is Sunday, is the Apple TV ad was right there. And I thought, I really liked the way the photo looked. We were stopped at a stoplight. I wasn't driving. So I took a picture of that. And I also like, you know, a Sunday drive is usually this nice, calm drive. And our Sunday drive is down Canal Street in Manhattan. It's actually calmer than it is on any other day, but I thought it was pretty funny to write Sunday drive. And then that night my friend Anushka came over and we crafted. I forgot to take a picture of while we were crafting, so we took one before she left. That's like something we're starting where every month she comes over and we craft, and it's amazing. This next day, these next 2 days actually, Georgia was sick, and I wanted to include we have like a whole team, I like to call them our team of babysitters because they all play a sport at the college close by, and they really stepped it up this day. Like Mira came so I could take Conroy to a little gym, and then Carol came so I can go on a tour of another school. So I just use alphabet letters, these ones, to put all their names so we'll remember Mira, Vera, Joe, and Carol. And then it was Georgia's sick day, and I used this one that says "This is real life" because she just had a cold, but we were in the house for 2 days. It's like a long time to be in the house. This next day was a Wednesday, and here you see I use that Heidi Swap clear stamp that says Wednesday here, just so I can remember. And Conroy looks like he's on a tightrope. That's coming back from art class, so here's art class again. And then this photo is like these three guys, and then there was an empty spot, so then I took another photo of Conroy. It's from another day, you could tell they have Matisse here, and then he has Bearden, but, you know, still a cool photo, and I used the cardstock to make him pop out a little more, since she is my kid. And then the 17th, I wrote, Billy had the right idea because this day was not the best day ever. And it was so not the best day that I didn't take any photos because I had like a crummy morning. It was pouring and I didn't have an umbrella and I didn't have any cash on me. Oh, and then I got home and I forgot my keys, so I was locked out. So yeah, it was kind of crappy. But I wanted to include that in there anyway, and I used 2 different color Sharpies just so that you could, you know, make it a little bit more animated when you read it. And then Friday was a pretty big day. Chad and I got coffee in the morning because both kids went to school on this Friday because it was a holiday show. Conroy normally doesn't go to school on Fridays, but this Friday he did, so then we got to go get coffee in the morning, and I have this hashtag that's Dark Week Coffee Date, because anytime Chad's has a dark week at the office, he can go in a little bit later, like 9:30, not crazy late, but we have time to get a coffee together, and it's really nice. So I wanted to keep that in there, because who knows, in like 20 years, will we still have hashtags? Who knows? And then this bottom page is a holiday show. I chose this photo because George is like belting it out, really singing. I was so proud of her. And then Conroy was in the show as well, and one time they like were hugging, and it was so cute. So I just cut out that little photo in there just to remember. Now the 19th is the day we traveled to North Carolina, but we didn't leave till the afternoon. So this day I let it spread 2 pages. In the morning we made ornaments for our family and friends, and we wrote craft together. Chad took this overhead shot of us, and I love how it turns out. We took a couple more after that where we were like smiling at the camera, but this one, when he took it before we noticed, it really captures the moment the best, I think. And then here's Conroy in action, and then we made this ornament for our best friends, and then obviously we gave them the ornament as a present, but I wanted to always remember it, so I just took a picture of it before we gave it to them, and then I mounted it on top of this pink cardstock just so it popped, and that pink kind of goes with Georgia and Ella's tutu, or leotards. And then this is the second half of the day, and it says together at the airport, and then it says for 6 hours, because we got delayed, and it was, you know, the kids did great, and it really could have been worse, but we were at the airport for 6 hours with a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, so that was that. And then we always take this picture when we get there. Mama and Papa usually make us this sign that says welcome Carters, and I just love this photo because Conroy's like barely keeping his eyes open, and George is in mid-yawn, so I thought that was pretty funny. And like tells the story to a T. I think it was midnight when we landed. Now we're in North Carolina, and we went to see Charlie Brown Christmas, and I saved the ticket, and I saved 2 of them, and I just glued them together so that when you flip them over, still something fun on the back. Picture of Georgia in front of the place where we saw the play, and Mama and Papa got her this great like Southern Belle dress coat and hat, and she looks so cute in it, so I made that really big just because I love that photo. And then that was from the playbill. I just saved that. Here's Billy again on Mama's tree. And this next day we went to see Santa, and this day is kind of packed, but I don't mind it. It's like a lot happening on that day, but you know, whatever. I think it looks good. First we get their haircuts. Conroy had the worst haircut ever, but we survived. We went to JCPenney, and when we came out, Papa had went ahead, and Conroy said, "Hey Papa, have you seen Santa?" And he was so excited. He was like skipping to him, and then he saw Santa, and it was probably our best Santa visit yet, because they were both really excited about it. And now the 22nd, we had a photo shoot scheduled, and the photographer had to cancel on us because her kids were sick. But we just used my camera. Mama took some photos of us, and we took some photos of Mama. And I love this. Is like we got 2 really great ones. This one, which I said before, is in the front of the book, and I wrote "We love plaid." And the way I did this was I cut out the strip, I cut out these 2x2s, and then I put it together. Then I put the stickers on it, and then I just like lightly snipped the parts that the sticker went through. But so when you look at it all sectioned out into 3 little pieces, it all looks like one. I really like how that looks. I also like when there's like one big photo that's cut in half. I'll show you that later. And then this is the back. So this, what day is this? The 22nd is the front and the back as well. And it says, "This is love, pure love," because really, that's love. And here's a couple other outtakes from our photo shoot. And now this next day is a Wednesday. Here I stamped it there again. I like kind of, it's like faded and you can't really see it as much. But it's still there, so I can reference. Chad and I went and met his friend Jeff from college, and me and Jeff are Facebook friends, but this is the first time I actually met him in person, which was nice. We got cocktails, we went bowling, so that was a really nice day. And then the 24th is Christmas Eve, and this is a picture of us going into Christmas Eve Mass. Bobby took the photo, and then I journaled on it here. And I'm happy with how it turned out. It's not the easiest to read, but you know, it works. Oh, and this is another example of, so these are 2 3x4 photos. Well, it's 1 4x6 photo that I cut into fit into 2 3x4 slots. And I really like how that looks. It says Peace on Earth down here. I tried to keep it a little more simple since there's a lot happening there. And then the 24th in the evening, we always have matching pajamas. So Bobby took a picture of us. opening them, and I wrote matching muumuus, so we'll remember this is the year all the women wore muumuus, which was pretty amazing because 3 out of 4 of us wear muumuus on a regular basis. So they were all excited. Georgia, actually, when I was cutting hers down, because I bought her a big one and then I had to sew it and make it smaller, I said, I need your help. I need to fix our pajamas. And she said, ugh, are they pants? I said, no, they're not pants. And she was so excited and gave me a high five. And now I journaled about that here. And then this is a whole family photo on Christmas morning. And then I really love these 2 photos. Bobby must have took them both, but this is Chad videotaping us as we come down the steps. And this is the kids coming down the steps, and like Conroy's in shock and Georgia's so happy and pointing. She got this Elsa castle, which is another one of those overhead shots we took, and I cut it down the middle. I think it looks pretty fun. She's got her Sophia gloves on as playing. I think, love how the light's coming in the window. It's like, it really captures the moment, that shot. And now another one. Bobby is great at taking photos constantly, so we get all these really good candid photos. This is us FaceTiming with my parents, and my mom looks so happy to see this race car. Conroy asked for a red, fast race car from Santa. And then on this bottom page, we have the kids buy each other stuff. So Georgia got Conroy Play-Doh with Play-Doh scissors because he loves both of those things. And then Conroy got Georgia this book, and right as she handed it to him, she said, Georgia, or he said, Georgia, it's the best Frozen book you've ever seen. And it was so funny because she hadn't even opened it yet, but he told her what it was. And then also because when we were at the store buying these, she really wanted to get that for herself, but we said we're here to buy Conroy a present. And then Conroy hung back and bought that for her. So it was a pretty nice moment at the time. And then here we go, Christmas night. We took a photo. Bobby's really great at making sure everybody gets a photo before they leave, everybody that comes. And the cousins, Chad's girl cousin has these 2 kids, and their ages with our kids is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we took this photo to remember that, and we'll try to take it every year. We'll see if that happens. And then I just used some of these more Mambi chip stickers to, you know, embellish these pages a little bit. And then finally, here's the end. I made this packet out of pattern paper because last year I just put all of our holiday cards in waffles in a Starbucks bag, and it's really like falling apart, and I have to go back and maybe make one of these for last year, but it didn't hold up. So this year I used something more sturdy, which was just the pattern paper, and I used packing tape to keep it closed and keep it sturdy, and then I used some stickers and wrote cards on it. So that was it. That was our Christmas, December 2015. Hope you enjoyed it.